Hey guys, welcome back to another edition of Intuitive Angling. Much appreciated you guys checking the video out, and back here in the tackle room after a week being out in Las Vegas at Kim's power lifting meet. Really appreciate you guys watching the videos out there from Las Vegas, and it feels good to be back in the tackle room here to do some more stuff for you guys. But today what we're going to talk about, I'm going to show you guys and give you guys some tips on what I consider the 3 best topwater lures in the summertime for catching some good fish. And topwaters are great in the summer, and I'm going to show you my 3 favorite and just give you some tips and advice on that. Real quick before we get started here, I wanted to remind everybody, Solar Bat has the Father's Day sale on the Solar Bat sunglasses. These are the Randy Blockett 2 models, my signature model. If you guys are interested, I'll include the link in the description. You got 30% off on all the glasses at Solar Bat. Check them out at the link in the description here. And also any of the baits you're interested in here, I'll include the Baitworks link in the description. If you guys would like to order them there, it's a great way to support the channel. And we got the Blockett old school jigs back in stock, so you can get those. Okay guys, let's get into the summer topwaters here. You know, summer topwaters, the thing that I like about them is that they work all day long. A lot of people think that topwater fishing is pretty much excuse me, a low light, early morning, rainy day type thing. And yeah, it can be better in that situation. But some of the stuff I'm talking about here will produce bass all day long in the heat of the summer, and you will find that a lot of the biggest fish you catch come in the heat of the day. So I'm going to go over each one of these and show you a little bit where I fish them. So the first one I want to talk about, and I do consider this probably the most low light bait of the ones we're talking about, is a topwater chugger. This is the Megabass Pop Max. You know, a lot of different ones out there, the Pop R, just different type of chuggers. But guys, a chugger in the summertime of the year is one of the top lures that you can throw for summertime bass fishing. One of the big reasons is the diversity of ways and the speeds that you can fish this bait. You can fish it super fast, or you can just chug it and bloop it and let it set forever, or in between speeds. And that's one of the reasons it's so good. Generally, what I usually do is if the water is pretty clear and pretty calm, I'll fish it pretty fast. I don't hesitate it much. I'm just boom, 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 letting it spit water everywhere. That's a really good way to catch them in clear water situations. But my favorite way to fish a popper, excuse me, my favorite way to fish a popper is around any type of riprap banks under low light conditions. I look for shady banks on riprap banks, and it works really good from daylight up until about 9 o'clock or until you lose the shade on the bank that you're fishing. In a situation like that, I slow it down a little bit. I'll throw it and I'll chug it and I'll let it stop. Throw it right on the bank. A lot of times this time of year you still have shad spawning up on those riprap banks, and the topwater chugger is a great way to catch them. Most of the time I'm fishing it usually on like 15-pound test, monofilament line, something like that. I don't like using braids. Sometimes I'll go to 20 if I'm making short casts, but one of the best topwaters out there. The second one is a frog. Guys, they will bite a frog in the summertime of the year all day long. This is my all day long topwater. And the thing that I'm looking for with frogs there's 2 elements. One is shallow vegetation. If I have a lake that has lily pads in it, water willows, any type of shallow grass, you can't beat a frog. It's probably the best topwater you can throw. But the reason that this is an all-day topwater is I hunt shade with this thing, and this is one of the best lures that you can throw in the middle of the day in the summertime if you can find shade. That shade can be from an overhanging tree, it can be from a shady bank, it can be from a boat dock, whatever. One of the most deadly techniques that you can find in the summertime is taking a frog and skipping it underneath boat docks. Those bass will get up shallow around those walkway areas on docks. A lot of those fish up there are hunting perch in that shallow water, and you can skip a frog up in the shade underneath those walkways or in the boat wells with these things and catch some really good ones with that. And a lot of it just depends on the type of cover you're fishing. Like I said, if you're fishing shallow grass, it's probably the best way to fish it, but not necessarily all the time. Frog is a great topwater. And the last one that produces good ones is a trusty buzzer. Guys, you can't beat a buzzbait in the summertime. I mean, summertime, early in the morning is one of the greatest ways to catch a good fish in there. Start it out, you can just cover a lot of water. Most of the time I'm hitting obvious, shoreline targets, points, lay down logs, rocky banks, that type of stuff. But another way you can catch them in the buzzer up and during the day is fishing this thing super shallow and super fast and covering water with it, again for those bass that are keen on spawning bluegill in the summertime. One of the things I like to do, if I have a lake that has anywhere of greater than 2 foot visibility, is I put that trolling motor on a fairly medium to high speed and I just burn the back ends of the coves. Doesn't have to have any cover whatsoever. You can just burn the back end of those coves, throw this thing to the bank, fish it with a fairly fast stop and go retrieve, and you'll be surprised how many big fish that you can catch doing that from those fish that are up there scouting and hunting for feeding, for a spawning perch of bluegill. It's one of the greatest ways to catch them. Size really depends on the wind. If it's not blowing much and it's fairly still and bright, I'll use a small buzzer, like a 1/4 ounce or something like that. But if I can get away with it, I'll go with the 1/2 ounce size. This is that Megabass Jamaican boa buzzer. I like the 1/2 ounce size because I can cast it farther, I can cover more wind, I can put it on heavier line, and it gets the bigger fish with the bigger size. So anyway guys, quick tip, that's my 3 top waters I'd recommend for catching good fish, quality bass in the summer, is the chugger, the frog, and the buzzbait. Those are the 3 that have stood the test of time, and they will catch you good ones throughout the course of the entire day. So anyway guys, thanks for tuning in, much appreciated, and we'll talk later. See you.